let's talk about the men's elimination chamber and
All right.
who we believe will be leaving the elimination chamber, punching their ticket to WrestleMania. We have Logan Paul, John Cena, Seth Rollins. I'm going to get it right. Seth Rollins. Did I say CM Punk already? No. Drew McIntyre. And did I say Damian Priest? And Damian Priest. Those 6.
I know who's not winning.
Damian Priest.
Damian Priest.
Damian Priest is not winning the elimination chamber. I'll tell you that right now. I love you, buddy, but you are not winning the elimination chamber.
Yeah, he's not winning.
No, unfortunately. My guts tell me CM Punk.
This is the thing that's so hard. So, like, before The Rock's thing from SmackDown and forcing Cody to make this decision, I have been saying Punk for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's still, like, a really big option for me because it can still happen even if The Rock is involved, because you can involve Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns, whatever. So, like, it's still a possibility. I just don't love it as much as other possibilities. But the only other person that I could see that would make sense is Drew McIntyre. I don't think John Cena is winning the Elimination Chamber.
You think Drew McIntyre? Oh, because the Cody pot. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's good.
The only thing is hasn't he already won 2 Elimination Chambers?
He's won 2 Elimination Chambers.
That's something he mentioned in his promo to John Cena online, is that Cena's won 3 and he would be able to tie him if he wins a 3rd. So, but then that's the thing, is because of that, then it's like, are they teasing Drew versus Cena? So does that mean Drew's not winning? I don't know. It's hard because Cody's decision, as we've said, is going to dictate everything. And how The Rock deals with whatever that is, assuming it's going to be a no, is going to dictate everything. And I don't love this pairing of The Rock and Punk simply just because of their history. And I'm like, I don't know, are they going to be able to, like, move past that, at least publicly? Or is Punk on board with being, like, a full-blown heel?
Yeah,
that's the part that I'm, like, struggling.
It would spice up his character right now. It really would.
And
he's too similar to Cody with the fans.
I know, and
they're gonna change his name regardless. That's the thing. He could lean to the skid of hating how the fans chant his name and don't really love him because they're all Cody crybabies.
Yeah, so it's hard because Logan's not winning. Damian Priest is not winning. I really don't see John Cena winning. I feel. I don't know. I don't see them doing Cody versus Cena right now. I don't think that Cena's going to get involved in the Rock stuff because I don't think that really makes any sense. And that feels too big of a story for Cena to get involved in and then not be there on a weekly basis. Especially when the Rock's not going to be there on a weekly basis either. So that feels kind of silly. Seth Rollins winning.
No, I see Roman.
I kind of enjoy that too, but that also would be then aligning himself with Roman. But also at the same time, it could be going against Roman because we haven't seen anything with The Rock and Roman since Mania. I don't know. I think I'm just going with Punk. I'm going to go with Punk.
You're going with Punk?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Punk, and I'm going to assume that maybe The Rock does not find an alternate for Cody, and that maybe he does something different to punish Cody. Something that Bully Ray talked about was The Rock burning Cody's contract to WWE.
The Rock what?
Burning his contract. Like burning Cody's contract. And that's like his way of like punishing him for not, because he's like the head of TKO and whatever.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not saying that's the way
it
would be evil. I don't know if that's something that they'll do, but I'm saying it seems like, okay, so there is a possibility that it can be something different than just trying to find somebody to be his champion instead, you know?
It's Slam Tackle TV saying he heard rumors that WWE are pushing Drew McIntyre in 2025. And if that's true, this is the biggest and best way to do that because you're not going to get anything better this year than Drew.
I know.
I
Well,
don't think you are.
yeah, I don't, and that's the thing. They have last year to top with Drew because
And that was
that
his best year.
It really wasn't. I don't think people are talking about it enough. And I think part of it is because he was against Punk. And so people are so enthralled with, oh my God, CM Punk is back in WWE that they kind of are overlooking Drew. And I think also because he was doing so much good work last year that people kind of took it for granted. They just expected it from him every single week. Kind of like his matches are almost always good that you don't really get super excited about it anymore, or most people don't, because you expect it. Same thing like with Gunther. You expect him to put on a good match. So it's not as like flashy as somebody else that has a really great match. So that's the thing is like Drew makes sense for this. He does because of his connection.
I think
to
you're talking into it. I think you're talking yourself into this.
I picked Punk, but no, I do. We talked about how Drew makes sense because only one person checked in on me, and The Rock was behind getting him a contract extension, and he was just moved to SmackDown, so like he can be the WWE champion.
That's The Rock show, Sara.
And Drew will be there every week to go against Cody, and Drew is already a heel, so it wouldn't be like a huge transition to make him that bad guy. That's the thing is like that's the part that I only question about Punk. That's the thing. It's like I don't know if Punk is wanting to be a bad guy or to go to that level of being a bad guy at this point in his career. I don't know. But I'm still picking him. I'll still pick him.
Could you imagine? I'm just picturing a Claymore to John Cena's head or something.
I'm gonna have to give you guys feedback because my sister should be here because you guys know Drew McIntyre makes my sister emotional. So depending on what happens, if something happens like that with Drew and Drew becomes champion, oh my God, I'm gonna have to keep you guys informed about her mental state.
I think we need some camera footage there. Definitely.
Oh, she would kill me if I did that. I couldn't do that. I wouldn't want someone to do that to me, so I couldn't do that.
I am the world's guinea pig, so you can film me whenever you want. Women's Elimination Chamber match. We got it is
Bianca
Belair, Naomi,
Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez,
Bailey. One more.
Is it Candice?
No,
not Candice LeRae.
No, because she's facing Tiffy and Tiffy.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Who's the sixth?
Oh, I have it right here. It is Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair,
I knew it was another blonde.
Bailey, Naomi, and Roxanne Perez.
Yeah. I'm still in on Bianca. I think they kind of set that up. Yeah, I think they set that up with her losing the tag titles. I think that they want to get her back in the singles title picture. So it makes the most sense. I think out of all of the options, she makes the most sense. They're not picking Roxanne. They're not picking Alexa, in my opinion, to go against Rhea Ripley at this point. They're not picking Liv Morgan, who just became tag champion, and they've already done that with Rhea. Like Bailey, I don't see that.
Bailey,
happening.
They're doing a program with her and Roxanne.
Yeah, like I don't see it with the others. I think that it's going to be Bianca.
Bianca makes sense. You need a headliner match for the women. Bianca and Rhea does that.
Yeah,
it's a match that everyone has been wanting to see, and they are the two top women in the division right now.
Well, and that I think that kind of is like an equal match to Tiffany versus Charlotte. So it's like if they're trying to put together some top tier women's matches, I don't know how much bigger you can get than those two.
No, you can't. And it just makes the most sense for Mania where, so I that's all I got. It's too clear. It doesn't need it. It's Rhea or a Bianca, or Rhea and Bianca at WrestleMania is going to happen. From this match, do we see any like sub stories, like Alexa doing something maybe?
And I see people talking about Jade in the chat, and like that's why Bianca won't win. I would see something more of like Jade maybe doing something at Mania.
Oh no, absolutely.
I think
Like,
that's the move. Because like Jade's not going to be on the card this year. If it's not going to be her versus Bianca, then she's not on the card this year.
No.
Because it would be too forced. So if it's not going to be that she comes back and then it's and reveals that it was Bianca that attacked her or something, then I think that she's going to come back and it's through her actions at Mania to, cost Bianca the match or something like that. That will start that story.
Yeah, you need to have Bianca and Rhea get built up organically, like an old school type of championship fight, Titans clashing, all that stuff. And Jade be a wrench in that, thinking that Jade's going to help Bianca and doesn't inevitably. Everyone's like, well, why did she? Why didn't she help her? All this, blah, blah, blah. And it's the underlying reason that Bianca was the one.
Well, and I think that people are also forgetting that breaking into the Elimination Chamber to interfere in a match is not easy.
It's not like it's not Hell in a Cell. It's not a steel cage. All right, it is a structure unlike anything we've ever seen.
Like the only time we've seen in recent history with the Elimination Chamber,
correct,
it was like towards the end or after the match was over when the cage is like being raised or like whatever, or they're coming.
Do you remember last year or 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was when Logan interfered with Seth.
Well, and didn't AJ Styles do it too?
Yeah, and you know what the trick is? It's one of the when elimination happens.
Yeah.
They have to get out of you have to let them out of the chamber.
Yeah.
So that's when
I think
a little sneaky.
Yeah, it's just I feel like it's not as what's the word I'm looking for? Effective in that way, because it's like, oh, they're running out, but you don't really know why until they get in the ring, but they have to like kind of sneak and jump. I don't know. It's not as great. I don't know. But we'll see.
We shall see. Yeah, we both got Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna write our predictions here and take a picture so that we have it.
I told a coworker who got back into wrestling this year. I told him a couple matches to watch, and he just watched the Trish versus Becky in a cage match, and he was like, "Oh my god, that was unreal!" And I'm like, "I know." You're welcome. So that's exciting.
That's fair.
The next one he's watching is the triple threat between Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, and Gunther.
Oh, I mean
he's about
potential
to watch
match
it.
of the year. That was up there for match of the year. Oh, Hangman is kicking off. You know what? We're gonna pause that. People in the chat, we are not going to be tweeting Dynamite after this because we're going back and watching it live. I can't just watch Hangman in the background. That's my Rosebud calling it back is Hangman MJF feud heading into Revolution. I'll talk about it more next week when WWE isn't in my face.
Yeah, well, and NXT being so
and NXT is as good as it was. Like, sorry, WWE is taking over this week. They fucking crushed it.
Mm-hmm.
AEW will come next week when they're building up their last few shows last few shows because I'll count Collision on Saturday. Building up to Revolution. Yeah, we'll talk. I'll talk all about Hangman and MJF then. But for now, let's get rid of that and let's talk about the matches first. We'll save Cody Rock. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn in an unsanctioned match. It's not official. It's unsanctioned, Sarah.
Yeah. This one I think is it's so tricky because I don't know. Like this one's hard because there's just so many ways that this can go. And I think that if this were a match that didn't feel like it was going to have an interference, then it might be easy. It might be like a little bit easier to come up with like, oh, this is how it should go, or this is what should happen. It kind of feels like Sammy is going to win simply because of Randy Orton interference, in my opinion, because I feel like we're going to see Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton at Mania. And the easiest way for them to make that happen is by Randy Orton returning and screwing Kevin out of this kind of match, because then Randy can sympathize with Sammy over Kevin trying to end his career. That's basically what he did to Randy. So Randy can come in and be like, no, I'm not letting you do this again. And I want to end your career, Kevin, So that is like, it's like cool because, we love Randy. But yeah, it would be kind of cool if that wasn't a factor.
I'll be the other side of the coin. I got KO for a very similar reason, but different. Someone is going to interfere in this match.
Not Randy?
No.
Who?
It's our Lord and Savior, Karrion Kross.
Interesting.
He's going to come in and interfere with Sammy. Sammy's going to want to do something, but Sammy's going to have that change of heart, that feeling, he's going to, that nostalgia going to hit, I'd say the graduation glasses where you remember the good times that you had with your best friend. And Karrion Kross is going to be lurking like he always does. And he's going to slither in and punish Sammy for not pulling the trigger and not giving into the darkness. And when he does not do that, and Karrion Kross has to take him out, KO's going to get the win, and Karrion Kross, Sami Zayn will face off at WrestleMania.
So then how does Randy get involved, though? Like
next week on SmackDown, Kevin Owens talks about how he buried his own best friend. Look what look what I did to him for getting into my business, yada, yada, yada. Voices in my head hits, and then Randy KO do the grab the head and hockey fight, and then boom, you got your Mania match, and not one word was said to make it official.
Interesting. All right, well, this might be our first difference then.
That's fine. I like it. It's a healthy difference. It doesn't feel like we're saying things just to be different. I like that. I'm a big fan of my thought. Big fan of Tiffy and Trishy.
I know, I love that.
They're taking. I do like that. It flows off the tongue. They're taking on Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Shout out to Candice LeRae for retaining the Speed Championship today against Zoe Stark. I got Tiffy and Trishy.
This one is the one that like makes me a little bit nervous because my initial thought is like it has to be Tiffany and Trish because Trish isn't going to come back just to lose in a match like this. That really doesn't mean anything, Yeah. And Nia and Candice don't really lose anything by losing. But my concern is Tiffany winning at Elimination Chamber. Does that mean she loses at Mania? She can't.
No, to me, this seems is just like a hometown girl winning.
Yeah, and it just like I said, it's like this is not a match that means anything. And so it can't, just because I think if we were talking about the Vince McMahon era, yes, that's what it would mean. It would mean that Tiffany winning at Elimination Chamber, that she was losing at Mania. That's a law of the recipe that he followed. But she can't lose at Mania. So I feel like you have to go with Tiff and Trish. But if I would say the only reason that they might lose is if Nia and Candice do something stupid where it just like ends in a random DQ or something. You know what I mean? Like that would be the only way that I could see them really like legitimately losing this match. But
yeah, or a Trish turn on Tiffany.
I don't
and
think so.
Trish aligning herself with Charlotte. Like that's a reach to me. Reach.
That would make me feel more confident about Tiffany going up against her at Mania though, because then that feels like she's winning. Tiffany's winning at Mania. You know?
I'm changing my answer.
Oh Lord, what's going on?
I like that. I'm taking Nia and Candice because I want to put that into the universe. I like that. I just talked myself into that. Because could you imagine Trish Stratus and Charlotte Flair as a duo? How they would be what's the word I'm looking for? They would be like so much heat. Easy way to put it.
Yeah.
Trish is
No.
not gonna be able to take the pin.
Sorry,
Yeah.
my boss just got by a fake wrestling tweet, and I'm so mad. It was a fake Wrestle Votes.
I get tricked by those too.
It says there are rumors that Jey Uso versus Gunther at WrestleMania 41 is being considered for a booking style similar to Cena versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam 2014, with Gunther potentially retaining and squashing Jey. So he was like, Sara, and then he was like, damn it, I got. And I was like, I fucking hate you.
It's the worst because they switch the letters. Yeah, watch out for
Wessel.
that.
It's Wessel Votes.
Yeah, you guys got to watch out for that, okay? I get got sometimes, and I've had to learn that you have to, with a keen eye, look at who tweeted it. You think wrestle spelled fine because it makes sense. No, it's missing a letter.
I just got so excited for a second, and he just did that to
know
me
you
while
did.
we're
I know you
live
did.
streaming.
I know. So fucking rude, huh? Just so terrible. All right. Well, you know what else is rude? The Rock asking for Cody Rhodes' soul. I don't think there's anything.
I don't think
more
that's rude. I think it's weird. Like, imagine
Uh,
going up to somebody and being like, I don't want you. I want your soul. I'd be
I
like,
want your soul.
Are we in a horror movie right now? What's
Did
going
we just
on?
become best friends? I don't.
What are you doing? What are you talking about? Is this your way of flirting?
Holy
Like,
sh! Could you
talk
imagine?
dirty to me, guy.
Take her to dinner first.
Let me give you my soul.
Let me give you your soul real quick. I don't think he does. I don't think he
so
does.
either.
I just
This
no.
because this is the thing. I'm not saying that Cody is modern day John Cena. I'm not even saying he's prime John Cena. However, I do feel like they've gone about the past 2 years, 3 years, with him, making him to be that guy at some point. So it's really, I'm not saying that he'll never turn heel, because I think we're living in an era now where the fans do tend to turn on people a lot easier or a lot quicker. And so if that does start to happen with Cody, they might lean into that. Whereas they didn't do that with Cena, obviously.
No.
I think things were a little bit different with Cena, though, because it wasn't everybody that hated Cena, like that never happened. There was, and I think, it becomes trendy to start cheering certain things, even if you don't mean it. Like, people are yeeting, but they don't really care about yeeting. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody's excited. It's just everybody's doing it. So I want to do it too, But it's hard for me to imagine them turning Cody heel right now. And then they don't have a replacement for him as that guy in the company,
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I agree. I don't see it. I don't see it happening. I would like, it would be nice to see a heel version of Cody Rhodes, but let's not try to fix what's not broken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there are other avenues for The Rock to have a puppet champion, and it is what I kind of alluded to on our last show, was that The Rock or Cody Rhodes needs a villain like The Rock final boss right now, because when you look at everyone on the roster, who the hell is a legit challenger to Cody Rhodes' title? And it's really no one, unless they have the final boss in their pocket.
Yeah, and that's why it's that's why it's so hard for me to pick against Drew.
Don't worry, I wrote Drew
in general
in little letters. I wrote Drew in little letters for you. I know you want to pick Drew.
And that's because well, I'm not gonna say I want it to be Punk. You know what I mean? But I'm just thinking, for the possible scenarios, whether he is the Rock's guy or not, it feels like it's Drew, because Drew is the heel in the group of people that you think could win. And I think if we're thinking about who is the most ready or the most deserving of dethroning Cody, it's hard to argue that that Drew can't be considered at all. You know, and it would be easier making him the champion at some point, if not at Mania, than Punk. I don't know that we were talking about Netflix and who they want on Raw. Are they really going to be okay with giving up Punk?
That's true.
It would have to be like, okay, he goes to SmackDown, does his thing with Cody, and then Cody moves to Raw. They would have to do some sort of swap.
Or Roman goes to Raw.
I doubt that, though. Well, let's be real. Roman never shows up. Netflix probably does not give a right now until he like commits to being there more often. Because like he's never there. So it's not really a benefit to you. You know?
No, it's not.